What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and the title says it all. Uh, this report happened a day or so ago, but I did want to talk about it because I do think it's very important. But yeah, I don't think it should be to anyone's surprise that Xbox, and they haven't announced it officially yet, I don't think. But since they lay it off their physical team department for physical discs and stuff like that, it's safe to say that Xbox is probably moving in that direction, and again, I don't find it surprising, at all. As someone who plays on all the consoles, the Nintendo Switch is the only console that I actually still buy physical for. It's been probably a couple years since I've bought anything physical on both PlayStation and Xbox. I've probably caught a game on like a really good sale, maybe, because physical I want see, that was the argument in the past too. They people would always say physical has the best deals, but there's deals digitally as well that are incredible. So I don't think that's really a fair argument anymore. That being said, for myself, I love physical Switch games. I just love the size of the Switch cases. They're just, I don't know, very small, and they're nice. They're probably some of my favorite game cases. Uh, Probably ever. I just think they're very unique in terms of the other games or other consoles. But so yeah, Xbox and PlayStation again. I just don't buy physical anymore. I'm totally fine with digital. Um, and people might think, oh well, if Xbox does it, PlayStation may do it next, and Nintendo. And we'll talk about the report here in a minute. But Nintendo, I mean, for their physical, I mean they dominate. They sell so many physical copies. So and they're always doing like special editions and stuff like that. So and I think that's also like another thing too is like game companies are going to continue to make collector's editions. So while you may not physically get a disc anymore for let's say Xbox games, there will be some really cool collectors items you can get for said games, and maybe even a steel book, which is kind of pointless if you don't have a disc, but some I think like God of War. I think the God of War special edition came with the steelbook, but it didn't come with a disc. It came with like a code or something like that, if I remember that correctly. So and then we'll move on to Xbox and just their. So we already know that Best Buy is getting rid of all physical media. I think they're also doing games too. I think it's all physical media. Personally, I would like Best Buy to turn into like a micro center, like use all that extra space to bring in a bunch of like PC parts, so they have like a wider selection of stuff. I think that could be kind of cool. Um, but and then Walmart is also doing the same thing where I think they're starting with Xbox games. They're gonna stop selling them in the store, and we'll probably move on to not selling other stuff as well, PlayStation, Switch, stuff like that. Um, but I mean, you just got to look at Game Pass, right? Game Pass has been so incredibly important for Xbox in the last. I mean, when was this thing announced? Like back in 2017, maybe. I'm not quite sure when Game Pass first started, but I mean that's the trend that they've gone down, and they've had so many good first party games come out on Game Pass. They just don't sell games anymore. Again, they're going down that service route, and I think, well, I don't necessarily want every single company. Like I don't necessarily want Nintendo to go down that route either. And I don't think they'll ever will. That's just how Xbox is doing business. So they're not selling physical games anymore. And the ones that they are, it's probably people that just periodically that maybe they have Game Pass, and periodically they're okay. I want Halo physical, or I want Starfield physical. I want the collector's edition, something like that. So there's still those people out there, obviously. And again, I understand the argument for physical is Ubisoft came out and said, hey, people got to get used to not owning your games, right? And yeah, that's the thing, is you're licensing, you're licensing these games when you buy them. So they're not technically yours. I mean, a company probably could, and I think PlayStation has done that with some of their stuff on their store, but they could technically yank it from you. And obviously people don't like that. I don't like that either. But in the space of me paying for Game Pass for all these years, I never own those games. I have them because I can play them. But the second my service ends, or I cancel it or something like that, I no longer have that option anymore. Um, So yeah, I just think Xbox, this move potentially is not surprising at all. I think they've been going down this road for a very long time. You know, if they've got everything on the Game Pass, and you know they're selling their stuff on, you know, the Steam store and stuff like that. You know, why not save money on, you know, printing, and you know, printing on the discs, on making the cases and stuff like that. They can save so much money doing that. So they it just makes sense for Xbox as a business. Now PlayStation, you know, whether you like it or not, it's probably going to go down that same route at some point. Maybe later than sooner versus Xbox. But I foresee them doing the same exact thing. Nintendo is like the only one that I really don't foresee them doing that for a very very long time, just because their stuff does sell. I've got an article pulled up here. This is coming from the website's tryhardguides.com. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's based off. The article reads, video game industry analyst for Circana, Matt Piscatella, cited data from retail tracking service Circana about physical sales. He revealed on X that Twitter that Nintendo platforms accounted for more than 50% of all physical video game spending in the United States throughout 2023. Again, more than 50% of physical games on, you know, that the Switch had, and Xbox had less than 10% of the physical market. So it just makes sense for Xbox to do that. And again, that's why I don't feel like Nintendo is going to do that anytime soon, because they have such a dominant market, and a lot of people just love collecting Switch games. On the Switch, I started out like, okay, this is a really convenient system. I can do handheld, I can do on the TV, docked, whatever. Let me get all my stuff digitally, and then I kind of quickly moved away from that as soon as Nintendo was doing collection editions and special editions and stuff like that. I've got my Death's Door physical back here. I've got my Sea of Stars on the Switch coming in a few months, so can't wait for that. Already played on an Xbox Game Pass, but I wanted to get it, you know, physically, because I think just physical stuff is really cool. Like I love all the special editions. I did a Switch video um, last or early this month where I went through all of my, you know, all my Switch games and all the collector's editions and stuff like that I have. So I think collecting physically is a lot of fun, and I love it. I love amiibos, and I love a lot of physical media. But again, I think just for Xbox's sake, I think it's probably the right move for them. They get, you know, it's a good. I think it's a good business strategy. I think most people that have an Xbox probably pay for Game Pass, and probably haven't paid for, you know, a first party Xbox game in a very long time, and probably haven't bought any physical games in a very long time for Xbox. It just doesn't make sense when there's Game Pass. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys like kind of on the same page as I am? Again, I'm not arguing against, you know, digital versus physical. I get both sides, and I still click a lot of physical myself. But for Xbox, it just makes sense. So do you guys agree with that? Are you totally against, you know, getting rid of physical altogether? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have that conversation with you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.